Fans, fight fans. This is Kurt Deville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live for the Sunday chat. This is the reflections video. First of all, for all the women in the chat, look at this little guy here. Now he's running crazy. Always gotta watch this. Yeah, it's crazy. This little like, look at this cat here, man. This cat, like, with this kid running, and like the dog was running, whatever. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there, okay? And I'm talking about the rightful mothers, the ones that actually do shit for their kids. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers there, seriously, you know, because this is that day. Had a fun day of boxing yesterday. Didn't catch the second fight, unfortunately. Okay, go any day now. Christmas. There you go. It's like you've been driving through mud. Oh, welcome to Texas. But no, man. Kakachi versus Wood was a very good fight. Was action-packed. Kakachi shows his counter-punching ability. He also showed his size, bro. You know what I mean? And that's how you get things done. I like his punch variety. You know what I mean? Because he was ripping shots to the body, left and right hooks to the body, right hooks upstairs, left uppercuts, right uppercuts. You know what I mean? You have to be a special kind of fighter to time uppercuts like he was doing, you know? Lee Wood, he's been in walls, he's been up, he's been down, he's been all around, you know, and yeah, he was definitely down yesterday. And it was crazy because it wasn't really knockdowns, you know, physical knockdowns, but the type of punching that he absorbed from Kakachi showed, hey, yeah, that was real. You know, those punches were impactful, bro. Those blows meant something when he landed them on Wood, bro. It was a very good fight like yesterday. For some of you guys last night, it was yesterday for me because it was midday card, right? So, let's see if we can get this. This glare open. All right, let's try this now. All right, here we go. He said, "Where you going, man?" I'm going to pick up a pizza, man. I want a Papa Murphy's pizza. You know, I've become a fan in the last like year and a half. I've been a fan of Papa Murphy's pizzas, man. They're pretty good. You can just throw them in the oven, so you don't have to worry about them ever being cold when you get home because they ain't cooked yet. You know what I mean? At first I thought it was stupid. I was thinking to myself like, okay, Papa Murphy's, why would I pay you to take it home to cook it myself? It's kind of like half-ass. It's like almost you should be paying me, but no, it makes sense. If you want it hot and ready, it's going to be hot and ready unless you burn the shit up yourself. You know, but no, I mean, when I bought a stuffed crust pizza and then a thin crust, and I was hooked. I was like, oh, I see what the fuss is about. Goodbye to Giorno. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Papa Murphy's in the building. Kurt, man, brother, what's good? Oh, man. Mr. Flash. Was it Mr. Flash? Everything's good, man. God is good, man. Beautiful day. That's why the sun is gleaming on the live stream like it is. Fresh, I guess. Nice. Yep. It looks fresh by default because it's going to be fresh right out the oven. And it's crazy. I got some spaghetti to go with that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, having a beautiful day, bro. Let out a couple videos, you know. I got a lot more to do. It's crazy, man. It's like it's never done. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you take a look at my my older content, you know, guy's face was a little thinner. I mean, 6-7 years ago. Crazy, man. 9 years ago. And if you look at the video count, bro, I've done over 14,000 videos. And I was thinking to myself, like, how long would it take somebody to look at every video I've ever made? How long would it take? Because, you know, like, especially the live streams by themselves are just kind of crazy. Kurt, the Italian man. Okay. Chicago deep dish. I don't know. I'm going to see what they got. I'm going to walk in there and see what they got to offer. You know what I'm saying? But some of them, they got thin crust. You know, I look for mostly the specials. I like getting the thin crust because it's not bad on you. And one thing about me, man, pizza is kind of like my kryptonite, bro. Like, I could work out and have a shredded six-pack and all that. Give me some pizza. That six-pack will turn to a four-pack. That four-pack might turn to a two. Hell, it might turn into a keg. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, pizza's definitely one of my addictions, man. Because I can't stop eating this shit. You know, I have a piece and then I have another piece and then I have another. Like, stop. Donuts too, bro. And why is it? It's like a combo: donuts and pizza. You know what I'm saying? Donuts and pizza. It's crazy, craziness. Skrilla 50 in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you, man. I'm headed to Papa Murphy's and getting me a pizza so I can bring it back and pop it in the oven. You know, bro, I've been watching New York Undercover. I don't know if you guys remember New York Undercover. If you've never seen New York Undercover, it was a popular show in the 90s, like late 90s, right? And it's like, it's a story of two detectives in New York, and they go undercover and they, you know, they fight crime and shit, but they, you know, they're gritty with it because they're undercover cops. And one's a Puerto Rican cop, the other one's a African-American cop, you know? And, you know, they get shit done, you know what I mean, their own way. So it's pretty dope. Yeah, with Malik Yoga. Yeah, you already know. Why did I get married, bro? It's crazy, man. Why did I get married? I seen that. I went on a date and seen that, and the dude that played Mike, I ended up doubling him on a show called it was actually Don't Mess with Texas, but it's called Hot Pursuit. So it's kind of a small world when it comes to that. People hated that dude because, you know, he dogged out Jill Scott because he left her for the little skinny, hot, sexy, chocolate other chick, right? It was the new Miami Vice, but better. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see the comparison, you know, with Sonny and Crockett. You know, but Miami Vice was the shit, bro. And it was crazy. In the mid-90s, I used to look back at Miami Vice and remember watching it as a child. Like, I was like 4 or 5 when Miami Vice first came out. Maybe a little younger than that. And when I got like a teenager, I'm like, oh, dude, Miami Vice is on. You know? So it's crazy, man. Miami Vice was dope. You know, to hear stories about Miami Vice with Don Johnson where, you know, he was, oh, dude. I just passed it. He was mad popular, so he had chicks and stuff up in his penthouse. He had this penthouse that, you know, production took care of and all that, you know. Yeah, Knight Rider was dope too, bro. Knight Rider, Miami Vice, that was dope. Those were some dope shows in the 80s, like some of the best shows in the 80s. But don't get it twisted though. The 80s, like, you would think like, oh man, the 80s was just awesome. They somewhat, because some of that shit you could have kept. Like Alf, I hated Alf. With the little alien that came from outer space, that used to talk a lot, look like a Muppet baby. Yeah, I couldn't stand it, bro. Like stuff like that. Blossom, I hated Blossom. You know, little chick with the big nose, couldn't stand Blossom, bro. Like stuff like that was like, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I did not like it at all, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you, just keeping it a buck. I could not stand Blossom. Some of that stuff, you know, I just kind of forgot. And then some of it, you know, it's kind of better to forget. You know, I always imagine. I always had this weird thing about like time travel. You know, Star Trek. I didn't really watch Star Trek. My brother did. I had my older brother. He used to watch Star Trek a lot. He was like a Trekkie. He was a really sci-fi cat. Especially when we received satellite, bro, because we didn't really have cable. So my dad, what he did was he bought a lot of. We went to like Blockbuster a lot, so we watched a shitload of movies. You know what I mean? But as far as shows went, we didn't really watch the shows until my dad bought a satellite dish, and then we got HBO and Showtime and Stars and shit like that. Kurt, what kind of car do you have? Do I drive? I got a several cars, man. I got a Toyota. I had a couple BMWs. I sold one BMW. I got a Cadillac. I just recently gave up my Oldsmobile, which was the stupidest thing I ever had done. Yeah, I miss Blockbuster too. Actually, there is a Blockbuster, people. If you guys want to go to a Blockbuster video, they got one in Oregon. Like I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's Portland, or I want to say Portland. Maybe it's a little small town. I looked it up one time, but they still have a Blockbuster, a fully functional Blockbuster in that area. Now I don't know how the hell they keep it stocked. You know what I'm saying? Because but they keep it. It's there. Used to rent PlayStation games there. I remember those days. I remember the Blockbuster days of renting games from there. And some of the games were jacked up, especially when PlayStation, because people used to, stank them all up to be damned and then return them, And you wonder, like, well, how the hell they get by with that? Because, the clerk or those clerks supposed to check the disc when you return them. They're supposed to open them and look at them, and then open them and look at them to see if there's any damage to them. VHS was upgraded from beta. Bro, I remember beta. I remember a friend of mine, bro. I remember a friend of mine used to talk about it all the time. We never had one. We never had a beta and any of that stuff like that. Atari was something. Atari was cool. Yeah, Atari was cool. We had an Atari, a 2600. Actually, my brother had it. It was kind of like his, and I guess I played it when he didn't play it. You know what I'm saying? Greetings from Eastern Europe. Johnny's counterpunch to you from Eastern Europe in the building. Coolness. But yeah, man, back to the fights. The fights were dope. Like, I appreciate what we had yesterday, because yesterday made up for the weekend before all these heavy hitters like Canelo and Skull. And a lot of people are like blaming Skull. Like, I never want to see Skull again. I have to remind people, the inability to adapt to a certain style, especially someone that moves. You have to keep in mind that person is just not moving. That person is also punching and moving. So that means Canelo Alvarez, to me, people, to keep it a buck, I give nobody any shortcuts. Canelo, he's the cash cow. He's the creme de la creme. He's all that. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't believe that Canelo has learned how to. I don't think he's improved like people think he has. I just think the styles that he's been in front of made him look better than he really is. You see what I mean? Like, if he fought Lara now, it would be a better fight, because Lara doesn't move. Canelo has went on record and said he doesn't like fighters that move around a lot. He said that. Billy, Skull versus Billy. Well, I mean, Canelo should have done more. You can't say, hey, that's like Martin Bakali. It's like basically the same type of fight, but with way more action. That's all it was. Efe Ajagba boxed, moved, jabbed, moved, set up the right hand from the jab. That's pretty much all he did. And every other punch that he landed, he set it up from the jab. You know what I'm saying? And he countered with the right hand. And Martin Bakali did not have an answer for it. Oh, you guys, I have a treat for you guys tomorrow concerning Martin Bakali. Bud by masterclass. And then see, the thing is, I don't think that Canelo's like everybody, oh, he's got so much better. I don't think so. I think he just went to a weight class that guys that were perfect, that really, his style is good except for movers, pure boxers. He can't deal with those dudes. That's why he didn't try, because he knew, I'm going to be swinging at this dude all night and I don't really want to look bad. So the less I do, the better I do. You see what I'm saying? That's why Canelo really didn't really want to do anything harsh or dramatic or, you know, or forceful. I still can't believe I witnessed a Jogba box. Bro, yes, we witnessed a Jogba box, bro. It's funny. A Jogba boxed Bakali like Frank Sanchez boxed him. That's crazy. I'm going to tell you what happened, bro. I'm going to tell you what happened to Efe Ajagba. Call me crazy. Efe Ajagba was bitter, mad, young, dumb, full of cum. And guess what? He got a wife. Now he's happier. He don't talk as much shit. You know what I'm saying? His mind is at ease. You seen Efe Ajagba's wife? He has a very attractive wife. David MC in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Will be quite evenly matched. I feel Canelo was at his peak when he fought Triple G. I don't know. Because see, when he fought Triple G, this was like 2017 and 2018, right? Because he fought him 1 year and then he got a 6 months ban for the clenbuterol. Then they, you know, then he did that little knee surgery deal where he wore that damn knee thing for a long time, if you remember. And then he fought Triple G exactly a year later. Okay. I don't know if he was in his peak then, because people said that shit when he went to 168. Remember when he went to 168 and then he started fighting, you know, he fought guys like Rockwall, what's that guy's name he beat? He busted him up real bad. Tall guy. Then Callum Smith, then Billy Joe, then Caleb Plant. Can't believe Canelo got 80 million for that. He'll get beat by Crawford if he puts a display like that in. Well, I'm just telling everybody, just be prepared to see something very, very unexpected. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't really want to. I just want people to remember what I just said. Be prepared to see something very unexpected September 12th. Boxing Bros UK in the building. Hey Kurt, love the channel. Effie just decided to sit on the ropes, basically gave last 3 rounds away after all that good work. I still had him winning 6-4 though. I do agree. I think he could have actually upped the ante. You know, I agree with that. He gave those rounds away, and you know, that's a sign of arrogance or a sign of assurance that he shouldn't have been assured of, because look at the scorecards. See, if had he done more, he probably would have received more. For all we know, he could have received a late stoppage, because the way he was hitting Mark McCauley, he was hurting Mark McCauley. Don't get it twisted. Mark McCauley was getting hurt. Bow! Because at a certain point, Mark McCauley stopped chasing, because when he stopped in the middle of the ring, come on, man, right? He started doing those gestures because he's... Okay. Had an Amber Alert. But no, Rocky Fielding, that's it. Yeah, he rocked Rocky, dude. He busted Rocky up, though. Mayweather actually gave Canelo more exposure. Yeah, he did. I mean, I honestly think people don't really, people didn't really see what happened or acknowledge what happened. Floyd pretty much beat Canelo and then gave him the torch. Understand what I just said? If you look at the post press conferences, You know, Floyd set Canelo up to be a superstar. He set him up. He's like, I'm sure he's gonna be a champion. He's gonna be one hell of a champion. He's gonna be the next cash cow. He said that, bro. He said he's gonna be the next cash cow. He's gonna be champion again. He set Canelo up. So before people can, I talk half and half about Floyd. Things I like, things I don't like, but that's what he did for Canelo. So if I'm Canelo, I would be grateful for what Floyd did for me, because he didn't have to do that. Floyd didn't have to do any of that. Floyd could have been a straight ass. Ain't gonna be nobody better than me. L Cinnamon, he ain't nothing. Like I said, I cooked him just like I cooked his boss. I cooked his boss and I cooked him. So all of them are beneath me, and they'll never be better than me because I'm Floyd Money Mayweather. He could have done that. Floyd could have done that. Floyd could have just roasted Canelo. He was flat-footed. He looked, he had cement feet. Oscar De La Hoya, I whooped his ass too. Look, it's a generation after generation, on top of another generation. I whoop everybody, and I'm old enough to be his daddy. Later, I'm old enough to be his daddy. Right? So basically, he didn't do that though, but Floyd set him up, talked him up, set him up, gave him good graces, told the public this is where this guy's going to go, and guess where he's at? He's exactly where Floyd said he was at. Something to think about. Mayweather, actually, yeah. How Canelo versus Bud undercard gonna look like, bro? I don't know. I hope it's something worthwhile. I don't want to see any. I want a good scorecard, bro. I mean a scorecard. I want a good undercard. I want that undercard to be the card, Bud gonna make it look easy against Canelo, then everybody's will discredit him like always. Well, the first thing they're gonna say that that Canelo is past his prime. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know how? How do you figure that? Bud's older than Canelo. Yeah. Bud's older than Canelo. Bud has heart, but your body is not the same as your mind as you get older. Yeah, that's true. And the extra weight on Bud's body may be the issue. Of course, anything may be possible. Yeah, that's true. That's also true, guys. Macaulay gets hit too much. I picked Caballo to beat him when they were supposed to fight. That would be a war as long as it lasts. That's actually a fight that I want to see because, Macaulay throws good body shots too. Now, don't sleep on Macaulay's body punishment. His body punching repertoire. He's pretty good, bro. You seen him working that left hook to the body against the Jogba. Now, I was impressed with that. It's just, had he been in better shape, he would have been doing it more. We would have had a better fight. He would have been able to keep up with Efe Ajagba, and the way he gestured Efe to slow down, that conveyed to me he was tired, because he was tired of running after him. He was tired of trying to cut the ring off, which at times he did. But see, he was also getting hit as well. So Efe Ajagba was able to keep distance, keep the jab in his face, and when he got close enough, bang, he dropped that right hand on his ass. That's what happened. And he did it a lot. It's kind of hard to miss a 300-pound man, isn't it? Think about it. It's kind of hard to miss a 300-pound man. He's like a fucking refrigerator coming at you. Like a big black refrigerator coming at you. Just coming at you. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there he goes. Oh. That's all that happened, bro. He couldn't miss him. It's funny listening to you imitate Macaulay, because as big as he is, I would expect him to have such a high-pitched voice. Man, that is some funny shit, isn't it? I know guys that, they be talking and their voice is all soft. What's up, man? Hey, man. Everything about connections and your skills is always secondary in most cases. McCauley is overhyped, just a big unit. He's a big dude, and it's crazy. But I mean, we've already seen how to beat him, you know. And I know Jared Anderson is. You know what? I bet you Jared Anderson now wants another crack at Martin McCauley. So don't be surprised if you don't hear in the near future Jared Anderson calling back out Martin McCauley. Yep. Because he's had some, bro, a loss and a draw, that ain't good. That's not good at all. A loss and a draw, bro, you ain't had a win in the last 2 fights. That's bad. You just have to be in the right place at the right time. Like Bud would be worth more if he had a better promotional team. You know what Bud did, people? Bud Crawford did things his way. I did it my way. He did it his way. His way, and that's how it is. Jay Roos in the building. Top trainers are now picking Crawford to beat Canelo and possibly stop him. Well, you imagine those chopping ass shots that are coming from Crawford in different angles. You imagine how these shots are coming. You imagine him going in and out, chopping, throwing punches back and forth. Then see, Canelo's going to come forward. But imagine Canelo trying to come forward, and see, Canelo waits to get you on the ropes. And I know that's what's going to happen. And what's going to happen, he's going to be outboxed from the outside. I already know how this shit's going to go. I've seen it. He's going to be boxed. And look, Crawford's going to come in orthodox. Then he's going to switch to southpaw. Then he's like, oh, okay, this is the stance I want to be in. Then he's going to start throwing right hands. Then he's going to start throwing right hand hooks. Then he's going to start shooting that left backhand. He's going to start shooting that left backhand to the body, then downstairs, back to the body with the backhand, then upstairs with the backhand. Then he's going to chop with the right. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And then Canelo's going to come. He's going to have to get closer to Crawford, so he's going to have to risk it. And his best option, people are then going to start waiting. When is Canelo going to start landing? And when Canelo gets him on the ropes, he's going to throw something impactful. And that's what everybody's going to see. Oh, shit. What is Crawford going to do when Canelo pressures him into that position to throw that bolo punch? Again, I'm talking too much. But I'm excited about the shit. Kurt, you sounded like Teddy Atlas with that bam. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of bro, let me tell you guys something. From the mid-90s to the late 90s to the early 2000s. I remember my oldest daughter was born in the early 2000s. I watched Friday Night Fights on ESPN 2. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I watched that shit religiously. So I knew, and then I grew a deep respect for fighters that weren't the champion or that weren't the cash cows, that didn't have the silk pajamas. I learned about the fighters that had an everyday grind, had a second job, had a third job. You know what I'm saying? Those type of guys, the Julian Lederlows of the world, the Mickey Wards of the world. You see what I mean? The Antonio Diaz's of the world. You know, these kind of guys, the Angel Manfredis, and these guys, when they didn't get those big venues, they had to stay busy fighting. That's what ESPN Friday Night Fights was for. Then you had Tuesday Night Fights. That was earlier in the 90s. So I watched boxing evolve, and I seen guys like Diego Chico Corrales, go to HBO and become a star, and then go back to classic fights and ESPN 2 fights. So I seen that, Triple D type quit. Daniel favorite 90%, Usyk 10%. Usyk. Okay. Bud wrestling background actually plays a role in learning how to get extra weight off you. Bud has those slick punches you don't see. Yeah, and he's going to chop you with them. Look, let's stop pretending that Canelo didn't get hit and countered with that bolo shit he was doing. He got caught with Skull. Just people don't want to acknowledge it, because what we do think and say about Skull in response to the fight is, it was such a boring fight, we don't want to watch Skull again. That's what we seen. But what did you pick up from the style of Skull? Yeah, he moved. Yes, he ran, whatever you want to call it. But what did he do? He countered Canelo. People ain't looking at that. Nah. We ain't looking at that. Bud Crawford gonna tax Canelo's arse. People think Bud will run, but I actually see Bud standing toe to toe for blow. It's gonna be a good fight, and it's not gonna be what people think. That's all. I'm going to bet on Crawford. You should. I'll bet a few hundred on Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I can afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, it'll be crazy, because maybe the odds will be shifted. But now the odds are shifting in a different, it depends on the odds, because if everybody thinks Bud's going to fucking win, then why bet on Bud? You know what I'm saying? So, the whole thing is the perception of people should think that he's going to lose. So that means you can bet and then you can win more. See what I mean? Yeah. Yes. Love the Friday night fights. Love Teddy too. Yeah, Teddy Atlas, Bob Papa, Max Kellerman. Yeah, those cats were there, bro. Kurt, you are looking well. Remember your health scare a few months ago. Shit, about 6 months ago. But I was sick as shit like last month. I had like some bug was going through Louisiana. I thought I was gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I mean? I was getting doctored and shit, getting white, cold towels over my head. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it, fellas. I was like, man, I started hearing that Gladiator song. Show. I was about to send out my body, 50 LOL. ESPN had so many channels. Now they had ESPN Classic was dope. That's what I missed. I used to watch that a lot too, bro. Triple D has a puncher's chance, and I'd rather the fight didn't happen, but I will still watch it to see Usyk punch his Clark. Yeah, I want to see what Usyk's made of, because everybody's thinking he's done, he's old, he's past his prime, John Fury just, he's picking Daniel Dubois. You guys just seen the video, if you've seen it or not, I don't know. That's up to my good friends YouTube over there. Shout out to YouTube in the building. Great. Dubois is too stupid to take Usyk out on. It'll be like the first fight. Usyk will stop him. Well, I think Daniel knows one way. When you say, Daniel, get him. Daniel's gonna get him. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think Daniel's a pretty, you tell him to do something, he'll probably, shit, you probably, shit, you probably tell him, give me some donuts. He'll probably come back with a donut man. You said get some donuts. He's the donut guy. Okay. Remember when Michael Moore grabbed the mic on Tuesday Night Fights and told his opponent to stop being a bitch and accept the defeat? I honestly don't remember that. I do remember though, Jay Roos and company. I do remember the episode, the night where James the Harlem Hammer Butler, hit Brandt from Jamaica when he sucker punched Brandt, bro. That was the most horrific, craziest night of boxing I remember ever seeing on ESPN2. Arrest him! They should arrest him! That's a felony! That's assault! They should arrest him! Yeah, man. He went to shake his hand. Old boy looked at him and boom! Yeah, that's the one that burned, hit Max Kellerman's brother and killed him with a hammer, bro. And then burned the house down. Same dude. He's in prison right now, rotten, where he needs to be. You're a great man, Kurt. Happy to see you're in a good health and good spirits. I fear that Canelo's punches may take a toll on Bud and slow him down. David A., he better hope so. Because it seems like now that's really everybody's saying, oh, he ain't gonna be able to take the punching power. They ain't talking about the boxing ability. They ain't talking about the skill set. They ain't talking about the game plan. They talking about the punching power. So that means you guys have limited Canelo Alvarez to a puncher's chance. Shit, that means that you're giving him just as much of a chance as Dubois is giving Usyk, or Usyk's giving Dubois rather, right? That's in the same ballpark now, isn't it? So now we're looking at the fact that, hey, well, maybe Canelo just has a puncher's chance. So John Fury sitting the third Usyk fight, it's already signed, in my opinion, or at least been spoken about. Well, it's been spoken about, sure. Yeah, I mean, they want that money. And, you think Frank Warren is going to deny a fight like that, especially when Tyson Fury didn't even earn it, and he'll get another opportunity. That's better commission. Frank Warren's looking better, bro. Frank Warren is looking better now than he did 7-8 years ago. If you guys look at Warren back then, Frank Warren looked stressed. He had these little red blushes over his face. If you guys remember Frank looked like he was going through some shit, like he was gonna break out in hives. Yeah, see, when people all nervous and they, get all antsy and shit, they start breaking out in hives. Yeah, man. That's, and Frank's looking a lot better right now. He's looking ions better than he did. Better spirits, skin looks better and all that shit. Even though he's older, he just looks better. You know what I mean? So, you can't go against a man that trains for 15 5-minute rounds. Can't go against Usyk. Usyk's going to do that, man, and Usyk's going to stay in shape. Usyk's going to condition himself. Usyk's going to be ready. That's the last thing that you remember Usyk saying at that press conference. Okay, let's go train now. That's what he said. It's kind of ironic if you think about the refusal of Daniel Dubois really wanting to talk in the AJ build-up. And then, okay, enough of this, let's fight. Bam! And he slams his hand. Okay, same shit. Now Usyk doesn't want to talk. Uh-oh. Now Usyk don't want to talk. He want to train. Okay, let me get ready for this bum. From this black quitter. Let me get ready for this black quitter. Yeah, that's the worst sucker punch I've seen. Yeah, bro, that was crazy. It was crazy, bro. You still on carnivore? No, not really. I mean, no, not really, man. No, not really. I've had some bread lately, but shit, I'm in front of Krispy Kreme right now debating. Shit looks good, man. I ain't gonna eat it by myself, so that's a good thing, you know. Talking about donuts, I pulled up in this piece. But actually, I missed the exit. The exit's back there, so I have to loop around. So when I was coming this way, I was like, damn, there's Krispy Kreme. Oh, man. Hearn's downfall has made Frank 5 years younger. He loves it. Hell yeah. And then look at Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, you look, Eddie Hearn losing hair. You see he had a little swoosh. His them swoosh getting thin. Eddie Hearn's hair is getting thin. You know, Krispy Kreme is a snack you can have from time to time, but too much sugar. But yeah, it is too. It's fucking the worst. It's the worst. Damn, Jay Roos, that's going out on the limb. But what Jay Roos talking about? I hear Canelo has bad knees, hard to cut off the ring with bad legs. Well, I mean, he ain't. Where have you seen Canelo cut off the ring anyway? That's why he don't like runners, because runners ain't gonna come to him to give him what he wants and what he needs to set up the shots. Canelo's a brilliant counterpuncher only if you stand in front of him. If you don't, he's not. And if you don't stand in front of him, he's not going to do much. Trust me, it's just how it is. Now, he can catch you going straight back, which nobody's supposed to do. Okay? That's the golden rule in boxing. Never go straight back. That's why you bob, weave, move side to side. Never straight back. Because all someone has to do when you go straight back, walk towards you. Get in your rhythm. Get in your step rhythm. If you step back, all they need to do is step forward. They're in the same distance that they were when you step back. They step forward, right? So that's all they have to do is throw with you. Oh, he's moving straight back. Bow. But anyway, yeah. He's not a cut off the ring kind of guy. Canelo ain't a pure, he's not a Mexican brawler. He's not a Mexican style. You know what I mean? He's not that dude. After the Eubank versus Ben fight shows Eddie Hearn doesn't care about fighters at all. He just the money. Eubank's health was serious risk in that fight. You think Eddie Hearn gives a shit about Chris Eubank's health? I mean, come on, bro. Chris Eubank was just real about who he was and how he felt about other people. He told Frank how he felt about him. He told Sauerland how he felt about him. He told Hearn how he felt about him. He called them all scumbags. And Eddie Hearn just happened to be the promoter of Conor Ben. And he had the opportunity to tell him over and over and over again, first of all, shut your fucking mouth. I don't want to hear you talk. Let me and Conor talk, not you. I don't like you. You know I don't like you, Eddie, right? That's what Chris Eubank Jr. said. That's what he said. That's how he had it. That's how he left it. And you got to respect that. He wasn't chicken shit. He wasn't a passive prick. He wasn't any of that. He was calmly direct. So, I mean, you think Eddie cares about Chris? No. Eddie and Eddie's only concern was his fighter. Canelo Mexican prima donna. I'm prima donna. But that's not his incentives. And he already knows what people think, but that's his job regardless how dirty it may seem. Yep. AJ has to fix his mind and spirit. That's the reason his panics were when he is hit hard. Man, when I seen him get hit by Andy Ruiz, he was like, oh, where am I? The canvas. Got up. All the muscles betrayed him, man. His body betrayed him. That's bad. That was a big dude, too. That was a big dude, too, man. Fat ass Andy jumping around, titties flapping and belly jiggling. He looked like a fat Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. You know, Mac. That little Pillsbury Doughboy jumping up and down, boy, that shit was iconic. I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. That's like a movie that was written very, very bad. CJ, salute, counterpunch to you. AJ forgets defense when he gets hit hard. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah. In Madison Square Garden, of all places, bro, you get whooped like that. Yeah. And then first person that was talking shit was Wilder. I told you he was a lie. He was a contradiction of lies. He wasn't a true champion. I told y'all he wouldn't. I told y'all. Oh, Wilder got rocked up when that happened, boy. You see AJ? Gay J? Gay juice and J? Dubois made AJ's ankle almost split. I seen it. Oh, my ankle. Bow! Oh, my ankle. Man, I was looking at that. It's like, I know people just felt sick looking at that shit, man. David Hogan in the building. Ireland in the building. Dubois made AJ, yeah, man. Bomb squad. Hey, man, Wilder was happy, boy. 2019, he was still undefeated. AJ just got his wig split. Yep. You know, that was funny, though. Until 8 months later. Push, 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 push. Wilder got his ass beat up. Got his damn drum split. Yes and no, because I was rooting for AJ. Yeah, that shit was crazy. You know, I was watching what's his name? Ty Booth. He was like he was like, yeah, they seen that, didn't it? Yeah, I seen that, didn't it? Seeing the fat Pillsbury Doughboy beat up AJ. You know, watching that shit, you know, I just kind of felt a sick feeling in my fucking gut. And I felt him on that because it was almost like this feeling you had in your stomach of fucking like, ugh. What are we looking at? You know what I mean? This is like a nightmare. This is something you dreamed about and you woke up like, damn, that was a messed up. Did anybody have like dreams of guys fighting and getting whooped? I had dreams. Like one of the first boxing dreams I remember having was Obakar versus Oscar De La Hoya. And I was working at a casino, so I couldn't watch it. I was working nights. I was working like 11 to 7 in the morning or 11 to 8 in the morning. And I didn't want to hear anything. But back then, this is like 99, so you don't have to hear anything because I recorded it, right? So I couldn't wait to get home. So like 9 o'clock, I got home and I went to sleep. And I had a dream that like he bloodied Oscar's face. And it was just this hell of a fight. And I actually watched it. And it was decent. It wasn't like I dreamed it, though. I dreamed of Lennox Lewis getting knocked out. Really? Nice. Wilder spin around. Zane got stones in his hand. I think the Klitschko fight made AJ gun-shy and fearful to get in another war. I don't know why. You know, Barrera wiping Nassim's, whooping Nassim Ahmed. Yeah, that was a good fight. He beat the shit out of Prince Hassim. And look, and he did it in the most disrespectful way possible. David Tua was too small for Lennox. Yeah, I hated that fight, bro. And really, if I see Lennox Lewis, I'll probably apologize to him because, to be honest with you guys, I didn't like. I told you guys know I didn't like Lennox. When now me like an adult, because I was a young adult. You know, I mean, it was shit. I was 21 maybe. Because I know they fought in like the ass end of December. And I remember seeing that fight with this like round after round after round. I watched Lennox Lewis pepper David Tua. I mean, he peppered David Tua. Oh, Mike Tyson fight, I was sick. I started praying after that fight. Because I was sick, man. Mike Tyson got whooped. And it made me sick. I'm like, this fucking big, tall ass, dread wearing Brit cunt cocksucker. I was hot, man. Yeah. And Mike just getting whooped. He whooping up on Mike. I'm like, damn, again. Claudius is my favorite heavyweight of all time. Yeah, he's a bad, you know. And then he left. He got out of the game by fighting Vitali, and I was like, wait a minute, that was some bullshit. So, but yeah, I didn't like Lennox. Lennox don't like me either, though, which is fine. So if you ever probably seen me, hey, you cut. Oh. He'll probably point you out across the room and shit. You know, Tua looked like he was gonna cry in the corner against Lewis. Yeah, David Tua, and I don't understand it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? And this is what happened. Let me roast David Tua for a minute before I jump off of here. Hell with it. I'm gonna take you guys in here and get some damn donuts. Guys want to come in? Come on, let's go in, bro. Get donuts, bro. Sunday. We can start. Look, we can start fresh. We can start fresh. We can start fresh Monday. 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 Yeah, we got this music playing, so I gotta mute you guys. So just hang with me. Monday is the donut is the deadline. Oh, J. Roos, yeah, man, it's big down here. Oh, it's big down here. Yeah, it's a big store too, man. This place is big, pretty big. Yeah, man. Tony Lyons with that super chat. Much love, brother, with that Cinco in pounds. Appreciate that love, brother. Now, time to get some more unhealthy shite. Good donuts, but can't eat that stuff every day. Hell no. Man, you eat this every day, man, you'll be looking like Tyson Fury. Andy Ruiz in this piece. I used to get those raspberry filled donuts from there. Yeah, I can see that shit, Jay Roos. I can see you eating the shit out of it too. Damn raspberry. I like cream cheese, like the cream feel. All this fat boy shit, you know? Damn shame. But hey, man, it is what it is. You know? Good donuts, but can't. Okay, I remember when Krispy Kreme got a drive-through. They got a drive-through here. Yeah, man. Yeah, this shit's got like, here's the thing. They used to have Krispy Kreme in in Shreveport back home. And the crazy thing, Andy eats Snickers. I eat Krispy Kreme too. That box looks so good. You open it up, it was all golden brown. And they're all soft and they melt in your mouth. Damn, I want a Krispy Kreme. Kurt, you opinion fighter of the decade, who is it? The fighter of the decade, it's either out of Alexander Usyk or Terrence Crawford of the decade, because it's kind of, well, we can't pick this decade because we're already in a decade, right? So I guess it started at 20 to 25, so we have to go from 2010 to 2020. And that's a whole different issue. Like, who the hell would be the fighter of the decade from 2010 to 2020? And that's a tough question. That's very tough. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Because yeah, Andy Ruiz sings his words. Andy Ruiz kind of sound like Drake without the please. I like Snickers. Because 2010 to 2020. That's 10 years. That's a decade. You can't, now you'd have to wait for the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So the fighter of this decade is unforeseen. Fighter of last decade, I don't know, man. I don't know who that could be. I mean, could you throw Canelo in there? Because, I mean, from 2010 to 2020, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd retired in 15, but Manny didn't. So I think Floyd retired too early. So there was 5 absent-ass years of his. Unless you want to count the McGregor fight, which how the fuck would you count that really, honestly? I don't know. You know, when you get older, meat over sweets always, but I indulge in my sweets at times, man. You man, listen, I got an aunt. She eats whatever the hell she wants, and it's pretty dope too, man. She loves like sweets and shit like that, and it's crazy, man. It's just like 4 in the morning. They got this little place down there, man, because I spent a lot of time with my aunt, and like they got these apple fritters. These damn apple fritters, man. They're like fresh. And you can tell the fresh butter on them, and then like bro, they're the shit, bro. They're the shit. You know, I'll eat one maybe once every. I didn't get any the last time I was down there. You know what I mean? I didn't even go to the donut place. You know. So I mean, I didn't indulge, but don't really matter because look, I got a box of sweet sugar shit here, don't I? So got a lot of sweets and shit. Where are you driving to? Papa Murphy's. Sometimes you have a sweet tooth for confections. Confections? The hell is that? Floyd Mayweather, who fought Canelo versus Crawford of today, who would win? Or who you favor? I have no idea, man. Because that Floyd that fought Canelo was quick. His reflexes were like a damn cat. And, you know, fighting someone like that, you know, because, see, the thing is, I think Floyd would fight Terrence the easiest possible way. I think that's what Floyd would do. I don't think Floyd would try to do anything dumb with someone that dangerous, with someone that... See, you don't fight anyone's fight, and I think people need to understand that. And, you know, and I think it's the realization to humble yourself and understand the mind of a fighter. It's a mental game. So what don't you do? Well, for one thing, you don't want to fight someone's fight. It's stupid. That's why, oh, you're moving against Canelo. Won't you stand still and let him counter you? Why the fuck would you do that? That's stupid. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Why don't you stand still so he can hit you? But a lot of people want that because we want to see excitement. And there will not be excitement as long as nobody's getting punched in the fucking face. That's what happens. That's the reality of it. But you know, you have to keep in mind that guy is smart enough not to allow the other guy that type of fight. You know, Pac-Man coming back. Thoughts? Well, I think Pac-Man may be too old, but at some point, if he's not too old, people, there will be a time that he will be too old. All I do know is what happened the last time he fought. What happened when he fought Usyk in a real fight? Usyk taxed his ass with a jab. He beat Manny Pacquiao with a jab. All them little ass, T-Rex ass combos didn't mean anything to that long-armed ass Usyk. Usyk outboxed him. He beat him with a jab. You're just lucky this wasn't someone like Crawford that chops his shots, that cuts you and hits you with different angles. You're glad it wasn't nobody like that. You're glad it wasn't nobody like big-ass Errol Spence. I'm going to knock out and Pacquiao ass. I'm going to knock him out. And he probably would have. So it's a good thing he did fight someone like Usyk that doesn't hit like a hella hard like that. You know what I'm saying? Because had it been someone like Crawford or Errol Spence, they probably would have really hurt Manny. And nobody wants to see Manny hurt. Manny actually was the fighter of the decade at one point from 2000 to 2010. He was the fighter of the decade. From 1990 to 2000 was Roy Jones Jr. Okay, he was the fighter of the decade of the 90s, Roy Jones Jr. He was that good. So it is what that is. But nobody wants to see these guys get hurt. I don't want to see Derek Chisora hurt. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But let's just face it. Let's just keep it a buck. You know, a lot of these guys that, you know, Patrick McDay, the other Nigerian guy that just recently lost his life, Max Dedashoff, guys like that. You knew who they were, you've heard of them, but they weren't really big guys, like big known notoriety fighters. Imagine that shit happened to someone that we all know, like a Billy Joe Saunders, like a Derek Chisora, like an Anthony Joshua, like a Manny Pacquiao. That somebody got hurt, like hurt. Somebody got Pritchard Coloned, okay? And they're never the same. That shit will change your perception, you know what I mean? Like boxing is that sport. See, it's the sport that I love that I hate so much. That hate so much part, that love and hate relationship comes with the realization of knowing that somebody could lose their life in the ring. That's a part of that definition of that I hate so much. So I want people to understand that, okay? People that have never fought don't understand a counterpuncher. No, they don't. But understand a counterpuncher needs to work. He needs something. He needs Aikido. He needs someone's force. If someone doesn't give him that, they give him a jab, 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 move, move, jab, 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 move, move. Dude, when you gonna throw that right hand so I can throw this left hook? When you gonna throw that up? When can I throw this left hook? Because I'm waiting for you to throw that left uppercut. Because I'm ready to throw this right hook over it. Eubank Sr. was never the same after the Watson fight. Michael Watson, yeah. That shit fucks with you, man. Neither was, and this is crazy. You guys heard of the, have you guys heard of the Sugar Ray Robinson story? Sugar Ray Robinson fought a fighter that he had a dream the night before. The night before, he had a dream that he killed this guy in the ring and he refused to fight him. So, he said, I'm not going to fight this guy because I had a dream and that was God telling me, don't fight this guy because you're going to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So, this is what they did. The manager and all these people, the trainers, they brought a priest in. Like, okay, was first of all, is he Catholic? But anyway, they brought a priest in, and they you know, that assurance, like, oh, it'll be okay, it'll be fine. Hey, don't worry about it. You're gonna be, you know, don't worry about it, anything like that. Went in there, fought the guy, killed the guy. This happened. So, what's the moral of that story? Moral of that story is, if you're convicted of something that happened to you, if you have a dream or something like that, you know, go with your better instinct. Yeah, that happened, bro. Sugar Ray Robinson. I would look it up, but I don't have my other phone. I don't know. I don't remember his name, and I know I should. Who was the gay guy who killed the guy in the ring? Oh, you mean hold on, Emil Griffith. Emil Griffith killed the Cuban Hawk because he was talking slander. He was calling him el maricón allá. Tu chupar una vete, una penga. Tu chupar la venga todo el tiempo. Talking all this shit, you know, just talking shit at this dude, and you know, Emil Griffith. I think he's still alive, or he just passed. Emil Griffith. He might still be alive, I think. But no, he killed a guy in the ring. But I mean, he killed him because he was pissed. He pissed him off. But I mean, you really have to look at the referees too, because the referee, you know, because what happened, he got his head caught between his fists and the posts. See how those rings were built back then, or made? They had the cushion, but they also had an iron post behind it. Yeah, the gay boxer. I know what it was. I mean, he was Emil Griffith, because I mean, he was either bisexual or whatever, gay, whatever he was, or that's what allegedly they said he was, or whatnot. Yeah, Emil Griffith. Yeah. Yeah. Benny Paret. Yeah, Paret. Benny Paret. That's who he been. He's Paret, but it's Paret. Yeah, he killed Benny. He killed Benny in the ring. Benny was talking all this shit at him. and he killed him. He got him caught in the ropes and started, his head, was against the ropes, and he just fucking nailing him. And it was savagery. It was savagery it was a savage moment of time. Yeah, it was, the ref fucking watched it, and you know what I mean? And and again, like, listen, I'm unapologetic when it comes to these referees. I'm not trying to talk about nobody. I'm not trying to talk about nobody's body style. But I know one thing. If you were in there with guys, if you got a ref that is smaller than the guys that he's refereeing, he shouldn't be the ref. I'm going to just be real with him. I'll be real with you. Because let's stop acting like this is not a physical sport. You have to be big enough to be able to fucking put your ass in between those guys and physically push them apart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't listen to authority. They have to be instructed by force. I'm just trying to tell people, like that little motherfucker in the Ben Whitaker and Cameron fight, he had no business being in there because he wasn't big enough to separate those dudes. I mean, that's just my opinion, What's your thoughts on boxing breathing instructor George Floyd? What's your thoughts on boxing breathing instructor George Floyd? I don't know what the fuck that means. George Floyd? Don't know what you mean by that. How highly do you rate Pacquiao overall in his entire career? I think his career should be over. I think he had an amazing career. I think his career lasted successfully a lot longer than Floyd's. I think his career is defined by his accomplishments and how long he did it. If you call Floyd, if you call Floyd Barry Sanders, you definitely got to call fucking Manny Emmitt Smith. Why? Because he did it longer. Oh, I never heard of him. I thought you were trying to be funny. I was like, George Floyd? No. Yeah, he's the first and only 8-weight world champion. That is true. This is absolutely true. Deontay, I won't kill in the Deontay, I won't kill in the ring. Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid. Very contradicting from Wilder. I'm gonna tell you why. For one, Wilder said, I want a body in the ring. I want to kill somebody in the ring. And then people start looking at him funny. And, people started like, hey, dude, what's up with you? Then he knocks out Helenius and then fucking goes on this crying rant about Pritchard Cologne and how, he won't ever be the same again. And his family got to take care of him and shit. I'm like, well, either the ayahuasca got to you, buddy, or are you just trying to say that because you're happy as fuck you knocked out Helenius? You know what I mean? Because, a lot of times people could be crying over something and they ain't really, they could say I'm crying over this, but really it ain't that. It's something else. You got to really pay attention to shit like that. Would be sad to see him lose to Barrios, who just isn't that good. Barrios is okay. I think he beat a primed out Ugas, but Mario Barrios, he's okay, Wilder thought he was Ivan Drago. He got zanged, but Zhang shaked it off and won. Yeah, still has something in his tank for the one-hitter quitter. Maybe. Maybe, dude. Hi, Kurt. What do you think about a Gervonta versus a Nui fight? Do you think it's a feasible or makes sense? No, I don't. Why? Because a Nui, the only way that'll make sense is if Tank gives up concessions and gets lower. He does what Chris Eubank Jr. did. What did Chris Eubank Jr. agree to? A rehydration. Where is a Nui fighting at now? 122? 126? Where is he fighting at? I mean, where is he fighting at right now? Who you got? Caballo, Usyk. Oh man, that's a tough one. You know what? I think the question to ask is, how will this Usyk look against Dubois? And then I'll give you an answer for that. I think that's fair. You know, Usyk, I think that's fair. Because if he shows us that he still has the skills, that he still has the mobility, and he still has the stamina, he should beat Daniel Dubois. I don't see Daniel doing anything that's, you know what I mean, yeah, Joshua, Miller, Ergovic. None of those guys are movers. If he's at 126, I think Tank should meet him at 128 with a rehydration clause of 138. I mean, you have to make it fair because that's not fair. And I'm sick of Tank bringing all these little ass dudes from 126 up to 130 and then 135. You know what I mean? And he's knocking them out senseless. I mean, yeah. Look what he did to Leo Santa Cruz. He caught Leo Santa Cruz with that uppercut and almost decapitated that boy. And he did that because he was so much bigger. And we all know Tank can punch. Tank's a heavy puncher for that weight class. I'm saying this now. I see Usyk very fresh versus Triple D and stopping Triple D inside 8. It could happen. Usyk is about to humble Dubois. Hey, man, let's talk about Dubois, man. Dubois calling Usyk a pussy. He called him a P-U-S-S-Y. Pussy. Pussy. Let him take him to the face. Yup. All right. So, boom. Look at this. Pepperoni. Beef. Yup. How can Dubois call Usyk a pussy when he quit from a job? I am pussy? You call me pussy? You go from a jab. You fall from jab. I didn't punch you that hard. Man, you better be glad Usyk ain't an asshole because that, I mean, he's just a good dude, man. He ain't, you know, he may, look, it may get a little bit more steamy. It may get a little bit more serious because let's say Dubois tries some more physical shit. Let's say he tries to, you know, go with that physical approach again, you know, try to shove him or try to smack him or something like that. And here's the thing. This is a question you ask yourself that people, I haven't heard anybody else say. Will Daniel get fined like everybody else has? Think about it. Devin got fined against Lomachenko. Tio got fined against Barbosa. Jarrell Miller was supposed to get a portion of his shit because of that slap he gave Wardley. Think about it. Damn, actually, Inouye is still at 122. Yeah, well, it has to be, 127, 128, because it has to make sense. They have, you can't bring him all the way up to what, that's stupid. No. And then, you know, there'll be some shit they'll try to do. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not how it's done. That's not how that's supposed to work. That little ass dude doing that. You know, and then see, you know, all that Mighty Mouse shit gets old, bro. All that Mighty Mouse shit gets old. I'm just gonna be real with you. It just gets old, man. And people get tired of that shit. And that's a lot of complaints with Tank. And see, the problem with Tank ain't trying to move up nowhere. Like, how the fuck you go to 140, whoop the dude, Mario Barrios, an undefeated fighter, whoop him at 140, then go back to 135? Like, I don't like that. I don't like how the punches be hurt, man. Punches not like, yo, you guys are some bitches these days. I've never seen nobody do that. You stop Mario. Yes, he was able to hit you. Yes, he's taller. Yes, he has the reach over you. Of course he's going to hit you. And it just shows you these guys these fighters don't have the heart in them like the fighters of old. Now, he ain't no Manny Pacquiao. And look, and before we go too far in on Tank, I put Tank in the same category as Lomachenko. Why? Because Lomachenko, he came from 126 to 130, then 135. He got dropped to 135, and that's where his ass stayed. Which, at this point, I'm like, okay, I know at some point you have to stop, but at some point you have to understand, you have to find, I don't think 135 was his cap, maybe 140, maybe even 147. I honestly think Tank's cap is at 147. You know what I mean? He should be fighting at 147. He should, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure his ass is 148, 49 pounds when he's fighting and making that weight for 135. You ain't fooling nobody. Dubois keeps his elbows too far apart, easy to land and uppercut. AJ hurt him, but didn't realize it. Remember the last time Triple D pushed an opponent that caved his face in? Caved his fucking face in. Yeah, I remember that. Dubois, man, Joyce jacked him up. Like my uncle say, man, he jacked him up real good, man. Because see, Joyce just, man, and it's so, and it just shows you though, you got beat by the slowest guy in the division. Joe Joyce is probably the slowest fighter in the division. He's a good fighter, but I kept hitting him with my jab, and he couldn't. His neck was too thick. He couldn't move, and I knew he was just too thick. So I kept hitting him with the jab, and the jab just, the jab took his toll. Then I start dropping the right hand. And look, a lot of people ask, man, who's gonna win, Joe Joyce or Dubois? I said Joyce. Nobody understood that shit. Joyce or Brazil? It's Joyce now. Brazil ain't fought shit 3 years, and then 2 years before that he was fighting him. And 2 years before that, he fought. He got knocked out by Wilder. So yeah, Brazil, he's retired. He's done. Joyce punches take 2 to 3 business days to. Yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous. And I remember Andy was talking about Luis Ortiz. His punches, you can see they're coming, but I can't. It's too slow. Oh, damn. He hit me again. I wanted Luis Ortiz to knock Andy's ass out. That would have been so good, man. So Luis Ortiz, he's an old, fit guy now. He stays in the gym. He stays in the gym, bro. That's the crazy thing. Luis Ortiz mess around and whoop somebody's ass. I'm just waiting for someone brave enough to take a fight with Luis Ortiz. And I'm really eager to see what he, can still do. And I bet you he can do some shit. It just, he just can't get caught. He gets caught, his old ass is out. He's out of there. Who Winter, Wilder Prime versus Joyce Prime? Probably Wilder. Because see what happens if Wilder can see, Wilder's not going to let him do all those punches. And see, Wilder's a lot tougher than people thought he was. See, Wilder's tough, so Wilder was able to take shots like that, you know. Ortiz has nothing left. If he gets hit, I don't think he has any type of punch resistance left. I don't. I think that's over for him. Not if it's bank holidays. It takes longer. Yeah, Wilder would hit him with something and probably hurt him. You know, he would hit Joyce with something and knock him out, and then see what, and then see Wilder would hit him with something, and yeah, I wouldn't, you know, but because it was kind of almost painful, like, damn, you know, that's what you would do watching a Joyce fight Wilder. That's the face that you would make. Kurt, who wins, Daniel Dubois or prime David Haye? I don't know, probably David Haye. Because see, David can move and he was awkward. And see, Daniel's not hard to hit either. Usyk Destroyer, Joyce 118, 109. I mean, now he'd probably stop Joyce if Usyk fought someone like Joyce. It's just sad, man. Sad. To show you how fast it is to get, you know, to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? The big teeth bastard will fight at 147. Yeah, it's funny. No, he won't. He ain't fighting at 147. And it's just like, dude, you were at 140. I mean, look, this is what I think about Tank. You know, what a terrible waste of wasted youth. You know, it's just terrible waste. Because he could be, you know, better, but he don't want to be better. That's what happens. You start spoiling these damn fighters. See, he ain't worth the shit. I mean, if you spoil anybody, they're not going to live up to their potential. That's anywhere. That's doing anything. Like rich kids. That's why they ain't shit. They've gotten everything. They don't have anything to look for. You think Tank looks forward to fighting again? No, but he knows he has to on that bullshit performance he put up when Roach beat the shit out of him. Lamont Roach gave his ass the blues. But here's the deal. He gave him the blues, but see, Tank wasn't hungry anyway. Tank got cars. Tank got houses. Tank got money in the bank. You know, he ain't worried about shit. What does he got to get up for? Making TikTok videos, slapping his own self on the ass and shit like that. That's pretty much, you know, shopping and shit, rocking purses and, you know, all that type of shit, you know, all that androgynous ass Prince, Michael Jackson looking shit he's been doing lately. I mean, he doesn't have anything to get up for. Like he has, you're looking at a talented guy with no ambition. That's Tank Davis. Daniel seems like a guy you could talk into doing something stupid. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. Let's climb this big 400-meter telephone post. All right. You got it. You know? Daniel Dubois, he's a hell of a fighter. Daniel Dubois. Hell no. Floyd be like, Daniel Dubois, he's a tough competitor. No special effects. Straight up and down. Two for gone. Well, goodbye. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Two for gone. At least stroke it while you talk. Okay. I don't know what that means. What the hell does that mean? Nasty bastard. Maybe we'll see seeing this current crop of fighters reach the end of their careers, just matchmaking amongst them to make money. So we've got Fury AJ, then AJ Wilder possibly. Yeah, you know, shit. You know, I mean, shit we should have been saw. See, they could have fought and been on, you know, went on with their business. Kurt, who wins? Danny Dubois versus Frank Bruno. I'll give it to Daniel Dubois. I think Daniel was hits harder than Frank did. You know, Frank's a specimen though, bro. Don't give it. I bet you Frank's fucking steel chiseled right now. Because I mean, he's a gym rat, bro. That's where I want that lifestyle. I want that lifestyle at an old age. You know what I'm saying? I want to just be like Monday in the gym, Tuesday in the gym, Wednesday in the gym, Thursday in the gym. Friday, you know, I would take Saturday off, you know, come out of there always sweating and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dubois beats Bruno. I think he does too. Yeah, bro. That jab of Dubois, though, you better watch out for that mother sucker. You know what? I'm going to watch that fight again. I'm going to go home and watch. We're going to start rewatching these fights. You know what I mean? And I'm going to start doing them live. Okay? I'm going to start doing those live and doing a fight study on those live. And I want you guys to hang back with me, to watch it with me, so we can see. You know, and it's going to be Usyk. I'm going to watch some Usyk fights. So I want to see his last fight with Tyson. I want to see his fight with Daniel Dubois. I want to see Daniel's last two fights. So I want to see the AJ fight, and I want to see the Hrgovic fight. Because I want to see those fights, because I want to see the last performances these guys have to offer. Now, keep in mind, though, that Hrgovic performance was very deceiving. That was some deceiving shite. Simply based off the fact that you didn't know that Daniel was going to put on that type of masterclass ass whooping against AJ, watching him get punched all those times by Hrgovic. You see what I mean? So he tricked our ass. That's what he did. He tricked our ass. You know? Usyk's jab is better than Triple D's. Usyk's jab forces people to quit. Well, we'll see. Dude, if he hits him with a jab and Danny Dubois falls down, I'm going to laugh, bro. I'm going to laugh until I lose my fucking voice. I'm going to laugh, bro. My post press conference, my breakdown is just going to be like, it's going to be like that. It's going to be, and I'm not going to say anything. This is going to be me laughing like this dude literally laughed during his whole breakdown. His whole breakdown was laughter. It's going to be biblical. And I'm going to draw. Yeah, man. If Usyk goes out there, pow! Oh, get out. I'm going to laugh, dude. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to laugh my ass off. I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh. Ben Davison has to go before a Dubois rematch. Ben Davison, bro, he's fucking up. It ain't looking good for Ben. Oh, I got something for Ben's ass, too. You know, it ain't looking good for him. Ben turning into the next Derrick James. See, everybody left Derrick James. All Derrick James fighters start getting their ass whooped. Ryan Garcia, Frank Martin, Errol Spence. All those guys start getting whooped. Fighter of the year to, or trainer of the year to. Dubois should just play dirty, headbutt him. Yeah, he can pull that shit with Usyk if he wants to. You see, here's the thing about Usyk. You can make him mad. You can make Usyk mad. You can make him mad. You can piss him off. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's why he ended up getting his ass whooped. See, Danny Dubois knew I'm in trouble. Daniel jumped down like that because he didn't want to get hit no more. He got tired of getting hit because he knew that the way this guy was shifting his feet, the way that footwork was coming, the way those combinations were coming out of nowhere from different angles and shit, the way he was getting caught with shots, that made Daniel very uncomfortable. I'm trying to tell you, he wasn't used to that. See, AJ ate those shots that Usyk gave him. Usyk hit AJ a lot. He didn't hit Daniel a lot. And it just and this is the question you want to ask yourself. What the fuck Daniel gonna do if he gets hit 5 times in a row? Because it's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. Because if Daniel can't land those big ass bombs, which if I'm Daniel, I would listen. If I'm Daniel, I would be fighting Usyk just like Derek Chisora did. Just fight that motherfucker. Don't try to box him. That's stupid. Just fight him. Fight him. And if you get tired, fight some more. That's it. Brian Bomac McIntyre and his team would be a very good boxing trainer for Moses Atoma. Ugh. Yeah, Moses is kind of like, dude, should I stay? Should I go? What the hell? Because I don't know. Should I stay? Should I go? Shit. With Ben, roll the dice, innit? Roll the dice. Bow! Oh! Go for broke! Bro, you got the worst damn advice from a trainer lately that I've ever seen. So, yeah. It's crazy. Atoma will get KO'd before 2026. Man, I hope not. Because, Moses, though, he looks like he's a kind of a pretty slick cat. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we full circled. So shout out to Kakachi. Kakachi did a very good job. I'm glad, I'm glad for him. He got the win. I don't know what's in store for Lee Wood. You know what I mean? Yeah, I enjoyed it yesterday. I'm gonna, after I eat and watch New York Undercover. Ooh. So guys, if you haven't seen New York Undercover, man, watch New York Undercover. It's dope. It's on Hulu. If you guys got Hulu, watch it. Watch it, because New York Undercover is dope. So, I'm gonna go for Frank, Jack's man, But anyway, Ben Davison has Atoma with his hands low. Yeah, all of them. He ain't a defense guy. He's a roll the dice kind of guy. That's Ben Davison's ass for you. But, another conversation for another time. I'm going to jump off of here. I enjoyed you guys. Peace out. Be safe. See you tomorrow. And everybody has been counterpunched. Peace.